This is the 2020 model year Volkswagen Polo, which is essentially the 2010 model, only in a better party frock. Now, because it's a facelift, there are some changes. Some of them on the inside, hardly anything on the outside. It does not even have LED or projector headlamps, and that in the 8 to 10 lakh bracket is definitely going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It does have cornering lamps, thankfully. But having said all that, this car still has that quintessential quality of plastering a smile on your face when you're seated behind the wheel. So let's go drive it. Now, ever since the Polo first came out about a decade back, I was absolutely enchanted with this little car. It had all the right ingredients. It was just the right size to qualify as a small city car or gone offensive in design as such. It is something that has aged in the most beautiful manner. But I'm surprised that Volkswagen really did not do any substantial change on the outside. Yes, you get a GTI inspired bumper at the front and some very subtle skirts along the sides, but that's about it. And in this day and age, when people really want a little bit of a flash factor, the Polo comes across as a very grown-up design. It's not something that is in your face. You get very decent seats. I actually sat in the back as well, and yes, the space is definitely a big minus. I am almost 6 feet tall, and when I sat behind the seating position that I'd set for myself for the driver's seat, I really did not have a lot of space. The knees were almost touching. You just had this much of space, and I sit fairly upright, so even the headroom, while it's okay, it's manageable, it's not really something that is going to give you a very nice and pleasant experience of space as such. But the seats, they were nice because the Volkswagen has essentially sculpted out the frame of the driver's seat or even the passenger seat. So the people sitting at the back, they are going to have a little bit of scooped out sort of a space in front of them for the knees. And the seat base itself is also designed a little differently, and you get a reasonable amount of underside support. Now, when it comes to the next crucial factor, that is the infotainment and the features, well, the Polo gives you almost everything that you really need. You have all the connectivity features. There's a nice touchscreen in the middle. It's not really as big as the rival cars, but it does the job. It is very nice and clear, very responsive as well. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, MirrorLink as well. So yes, in terms of fitting it with features, Volkswagen is fairly in the middle somewhere. But I would have really wanted the company to give us airbags for the rear passengers as well. You get dual airbags, that's great, but I think Volkswagen should have added a couple of more airbags for the people at the rear. Now, the Polo has been given a little bit of a different treatment when it comes to the suspension. The previous generation model, it had a little bit of a tendency to bounce and skip when you were going on some undulations. But this one, the moment you get off bump, it just settles down very nicely. So the damping has definitely changed, and the rear is a lot more planted than the models in the past. And people will call this suspension a little stiff compared to the other cars, and that is true because it feels that way. But the whole setup is essentially the same. It is only on the ratings that the suspension has been altered, I believe, and it enhances the entire driving experience a lot more. It is greatly more communicative. Yes, the steering feedback could be slightly better, but the whole balance of the chassis and the way the suspension is, it just is great. And yeah, even around bends, the Polo dives in pretty nicely. It holds the line, and it can give you a little bit of an understeer when you're being very mental on the throttle, but just carry a good momentum, modulate the throttle, and you will not be disappointed at all. So it has now grown a little bit and it has become a mature car, so you can also take it for long distance touring. And that is where another feature comes in very handy. That is the cruise control. You have the stalk on the left that controls it. And yeah, it just, I think, especially with the rear suspension slightly sorted now, it can make for a good long distance car. But the Polo is not a car that you drive on long straight roads at a constant speed. It is a car that you really want to take out to some very nice curvy bends and enjoy its dynamic capabilities. It is a very small car. It is the footprint is really small, so it is great to just throw around some bends and get a smile on your face. And the big change that has happened in the Polo is, of course, the downgrading of the engine from 1.2 litre 4-cylinder to a 1 litre TSI, that is a 3-cylinder engine. So when I first heard that the Polo is going to be given a 1 litre engine, I was taken aback. I thought that because it is going to be a 3-cylinder, it is going to be a stressed unit and it is not going to be as eager as the 1.2, because the 4-cylinder 1.2, of course, it had the advantage of refinement and it was reasonably eager as well. It liked to rev. But this 1 litre 3-cylinder has really surprised me. It is definitely eager. You can, of course, debate about the noise that it makes. I, for one, don't really like the way it sounds. It has that typical 3-cylinder thrum to it, and it can be polarizing. I don't like it, but some people definitely would like it. But yes, keep that aside. In terms of outright delivery of power, it is a very enjoyable engine. And what exactly is TSI? We keep on harping about Volkswagen doing TSI engines. But what exactly is TSI? It is basically Volkswagen's way of telling you that this engine has direct injection of fuel into the combustion chamber, and it also has turbocharger. But for me, the highlight is this 6-speed manual gearbox. Now, it is a little heavy to shift, but the gating is such that it is nice and crisp. You feel that there is this mechanical connection that you have with the gearbox, and it is not very wide apart. The cogs are nicely spaced, so they fall very naturally when you go from, say, second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth. So the gating is very nice, properly compact, and the whole shift action is very good. It is not as slick as some of the other gearboxes, especially something like the Swift, but it gives you a solid feel. And yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable gearbox. Now, another thing that I noted was the placement of the pedals. The pedal box is nice and compact. You can definitely do a little bit of heel and toe. That enhances the experience of driving the car in a big way. And that is what you want from a car like this. You want the experience to be heightened. Yes, the DSG is going to be much more rewarding when it comes to the shift times, but the experience of driving a car is enhanced immensely when you have 3 pedals and a stick to shift. So the whole immersive experience that you have with this car is something that really speaks volumes of what Volkswagen has done over here. They've listened to the enthusiasts and they've delivered something which is going to plaster a bigger smile on their faces when they get behind the wheel. So in 2020, does a 10-year-old Volkswagen Polo make sense? In some crucial cases, no, because the game has moved a lot more further, and you get cars that give you everything, especially the likes of, say, the Grand i10 Neos Turbo. Then you have the new i20 that is going to come up, and all these cars are greatly more, one, spacious, second, practical, and they give you a sense of completeness that is slightly lacking in the Polo because, of course, it is not as practical. But if you are a driving enthusiast and if you want a car to pootle around in the city, and also when you take it out on some nice entertaining bits of road, if you want a smile to be plastered on your faces, then there are very few cars that match the Polo. Yes, the Swift is lighter and by a substantial degree, almost about 200 kilos lighter than the Polo. And yes, it drives in a little bit more excited manner. The Polo is a lot more planted, it is a lot more confident. So in all, with this engine, it has transformed itself a little bit further. You get the right kind of performance and you get the confidence that you otherwise do not get in a car like the Swift. Swift is slightly fidgety. This one is just dead planted all the time. So in 2020, yes, the Volkswagen Polo definitely makes a fair amount of sense if you like and love to drive. In all other cases, you have the other cars to choose from. But this is a very smile-forming car, and there is no taking away from that fact.